Hello, my wonderful friends. I have a story. Before I begin this story, however, I have to explain to you where it came from. So, while looking for weird things on Reddit earlier tonight, I came across a page, a thing. I don't know exactly how to define it. It's called fanficmaker.com. And essentially, if you plug in some variables, kind of like a Mad Libs thing, it will create a story. Well, I shared this with a bunch of my friends on the subreddit, and they have created some things. So I'm just going to put these out. There's a way to link to these, and I think in the description I'll try to link to these, but oh man, the links are usually gigantic, so I don't know. But even then, they're being written by a computer. These are being sent to me by a bunch of fans. So this is from the subreddit, but not the subreddit, from the Discord. The subreddit is where you can send like actual stories, but this is from the Discord, and they just sent me the URL after they made it. And this is some of the stories from there. So, this is our first story. I'm going to do one of these per episode, depending on how long they are. This one seems pretty long, so we'll just go with it. This is Neckbeard watching 4.3, Legacy of K, by Serenity Dark Moon Raven. The names are obviously fake, too. Author's note. Don't ask me. I don't know where I was going with this either. I just write everything that comes into my head. One day, Moonhorse was doing YouTube. Serenity Glorifica. I don't know what that means. I was born under the shady dark red moon of the last October of the second millennium after the Great Shift. I'm sorry, the Great Shit. I'm reading these for the first time. Like, the Great Shit. That's... We need a moment in human history called the Great Shit. My father was the king of the lands of our kingdom from the beyond. My mother was born of the ferry, as in like to ferry across a river, of wisdom and beauty. Every day I wear the most beautiful outfits the worlds have ever seen. My favorite is a radiant red jacket that reaches down to my ankles and is decorated with signs of insignia. I take long walks at the Palancy dark forest where I am accompanied by my faithful Hjortfjord. Author's note. I got that name after I watched Thor! My faithful companion Furiel Dire Lion Wharf. Lion Wharf. But one day I was walking down the beach and I saw a great light appear in the middle of the beach. It was a great dark and it was everywhere, but especially in the middle where the greatest and darkest of all. Oh, faithful Hjortfjord, I said. Hjortfjord looked at me with his great dark eyes and snuffed up to me in fear and comfort, and growled at the grat, black and dark gnith. Hjortfjord, it changes spelling every time, I swear. As a great and vicious beast, I evangelized in my head. But I must have said it out loud, because behind me a mysterious voice said, "That's indeed a great and vicious beast you have there." It was Moonhorse! It was me! I was there! I had heard of Moonhorse all this time, but never met his! I wouldn't have dreamed to actually see that he existed in this dimension. My father is the king of the realms and dimensions, and he had known that Moonhorse lived in one of his rears, but it was quite exciting. Am I meeting Chris Chan? What's going on right now? But I cared for none of that, because when I saw Moonhorse, I was lost in the perfect orbs of his soul that was embedded deeply within his head. I have multiple eyes, apparently. I mean, I actually do have 2 eyes. That sentence came out weird, but you know what I'm talking about. After what seemed like eons, we were awoken from our our multinational dream. Because there's a pause. If we're going to festival, growled Growywilded, I'm sorry, once more at the great black thing. It was sort of like a swirly thing, but swirly doesn't quite sound epic, so I didn't describe it as swirly, but it kind of is. And it rapped open. From within the deepest and darkest areas of the Rizalem, I saw forthcoming a beast of greatness. Its evilness was radiating from the skins of other beings that wore and swirling around its head. I think it was its head. Came forth for the souls of beings that had suffered while it Atea them. I was flabbergasted. I reached out from my blue jacket and I held before me the eludiest that my mother had entrusted to me so long ago. I'm sorry, this is very hard to read. It's very misspelled. I think that's intentional. I held it before me and spoke the words of the ancient furry language. The ancient furry language that my mother had taught to me, as her mother had taught to her, and her mother had taught to her, as she had won the words from the great dragon Jar Jalijar. Jortful was a great evil beast that had tormented the lands of my father, and my father couldn't do anything about it because he was yet still a small child of a boy. My father's really old, you see, like the doctor. What doctor? Fortunately, Juan worked at a newspaper nowadays, and he used the database of the newspaper to find out home turf of Kay's ruffians. What? Their search led to a nightclub in the darkest and stormiest parts of Louisiana. I was a little hesitant to go. It was rather scary, and it was dark and stormy in that secting of Louisiana. Just the one place. There's one spot where it's always dark and stormy. But the courage in me was greater than my fear, because with Moonhorse's anti-neckbeard, I should be able to accomplish anything. Right, I thought to myself, and Juan would join me. Who's Juan? I'm so confused. So not to fall out of fashion, we both donned our most gothiest clothing. Oh god, I'm getting fucking My Immortal flashbacks. I had to admit that Juan looked kind of sexy in that outfit of his, but I didn't dare to comment on that. I instead poured down my soul into my makeup. I bore gorgeous blood-red colored fingernails with black streaking zigzags and gave Juan matching treatment. Juan lovey eyes met mine for a moment. We were both swimming in a pool made of gorgeous. That might be one of my new favorite phrases. Combination of their eyes' colors. It was romance, we knew, but we didn't know whether it was a forbidden one or not. And then we went off and defeated Kay. Just like that. Just done. After Kay was defeated, me and Juan went on a date. I wasn't sure if Juan wanted to go on a date with me at first, so I asked them out, and I was feeling a mix of fear and curiosity. It went something like this. So, do you want to go on a date with me? I said to Juan. Yes, said Juan. Where shall we go? Somewhere romantic, like a pretty hut. Like a pretty hut! This is my pretty hut. It's for dates. Or on the beach at night. Okay, we will go to one of those places. And we did. We're not going to tell you which one. It was really romantic and pretty. Hint, it was the pretty hut. I am glad we came, said us. And we eventually got married after a few more dates. The end. Author's note. If anyone wants to know how the other dates went, let me know. I'll write them up too. Again, I realize this was a robot writing this, but it's too real and it's freaking me out. What the fuck? I love this. I'm very happy that I found this thing, and I'm happy that people are sending me weird shit to go with it. This is joyous. This is magical. So, thank you all for being a part of this. I'm sure there'll be more of these in the future. If you enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe. If you would like to support this channel, I have a Ko-Fi and a merch store. I forgot the word Ko-Fi for a second. That happens a lot. If you'd like to send me your own stories, be they real or insane fanfiction, or anything that you would like to send me, you can send it to r/Moonhorse Stories. I check it usually every day, so I will see it. Thank you all for being a part of whatever the hell this is. I love you all so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.